everyone. Sorry, I'm getting we just checked in and I'm very excited. Alexis, where are we?
The fossil place. American Fossil.
American Fossil. Today's the day, you guys. I'm getting my stingray today. It's gotta be today. If it's not, I don't know what I'll do. I just keep living.
Probably.
All right, we're right here. We got this whole lane to work with. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. It's gonna be a good day. Fortunately, it's just a partial, but man, look at that fish. That's gonna have some really nice detail. All right, guys, this is exciting right here. This is what I want to see personally. See that? Those two little silhouettes right there? That is a pair of fish right there. And that is still perfectly covered, which means that's ideal for prepping. Not sure if it's on this side or the other side yet though. One sec. I'm gonna keep both and investigate a little closer in a little bit. But yeah, we definitely want to keep those ones. Those are the good ones to prep. All right, so here's some of the ones I've pulled so far. This one's gonna be good. It's a little weathered, but that's okay. Partial, but it was so nice I just had to keep it. This one's gonna be awesome. It's mostly covered, so it's like perfect for prepping. Looks like it's either dorsally preserved or ventrally preserved, but either way, he's gonna be on his side. Yeah, I'm happy. We still have so much more to get through. But I just got two really good splits back to back. So there's this right here, which I love seeing these when they're covered. That makes me happy because that means they're gonna be way more well preserved underneath that top layer. So we got a good fish right there, and then I just split this again, and it looks like we have a really nice one in here. Yeah, that's actually really nice. Heck yes. Yeah, I can be happy about that. That's a really good one. And I don't know what's different today compared to other times we've been here, but we are getting a ton of fish that are covered still, and I am not upset about that. That's actually really good for prepping. There we go. Just got a real good split on this. Yeah. That was in great shape. This one is giving us trouble, but we just split the majority of it, and we got actually a bunch of 90 out of it, so that's exciting. Yeah. That's gonna be a process, trimming everything down, but we got all this. We'll have a bunch to go, and then our table is filling up rapidly. Nicely done, Alexis. Yes. All right, that sucks. I was just splitting the rock right on the edge right here. Took a big chunk out of a mayo. Dang it, that sucks really bad. And it's literally on the edge, so there was no avoiding that, but still, man, that sucks. That is a nice one. Alright, that is a nice one right there. That should be really nice to prep. Looks like the whole thing is still nicely intact. Okay, awesome. That's a good one. Alright, I just split this one. There's something very promising under here. Looks like it's just missing a little bit of it, but it's surrounded by coprolite, so that's pretty cool. Hoping for a good one. And Alexis is splitting away. Actually, those look preppable there too. Those two?
Yeah.
This one might be. I don't know about that one. We'll see. That's so funny. Well, the other times we've been here, we get a lot more faced, like straight from the split, like this. Like this right here. Today I'm getting so many preppers, which is actually better. That means they're going to be really nice once we're done. Oh, what's happening? There we go. Yeah, that's going to be real nice. Look at that. Alright, that's a good one. That is, I believe, an idea. Yeah, that's an idea. We are getting so lucky having so many covered by matrix. That is awesome. Yeah, these are going to be prepped so nicely. Alright, I just got something awesome. This is, I think, the fourth time here. I've been wanting one of these for so freaking long. You see, there's this lump, this rounded lump right there. Well, it usually means that there's something underneath. Like, usually big things translate into the layers above. So I just split it. That is a freaking huge crocodilian coprolite. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. I gotta go show Alexis. Pile is growing quite a bit. These all need to get cut down still. These we've cut already. Good lordy lordy. Man, it's a lot of fish.
It is a lot of fish.
A lot of these are gonna prep up real nice. And poops, yeah, we got lots of poops. That's one heck of a poop. That's gonna be good. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Man, so many fish. Okay, this is awesome. They're just an idea, but that might actually be a close second find of the day.
Whoa.
Look how many are right on that layer.
That's crazy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just all stacked up. That's awesome. That is really cool. All right, yeah, I can be happy with that one. That is awesome.
All right, we are back at the shop. Like a year later. So I'm pretty sure we mentioned it while we were there. Alexis and I were like literally a day or two of getting over a cold, so we were exhausted. Like we were still kind of sick, to be honest. Worn out, so worn out. And by the end of the day, we were so worn out and just, you know, done and wanted to be home. I forgot to do an outro. You know, and then like 3 days later, Jesse got to town. And we went around and did all sorts of stuff, and then the wedding came, and then I got busy with a bunch of other stuff and had to put this on the back burner. They didn't mean to put it on the back burner for this long, but here we are. A year later, finally about to prep the fish that we got.
All right, well, here's my initial pile of preppers. This may grow or shrink, depending on what I actually feel like doing. So let's see. And to start, we're gonna do this one right here, which is showing very promising signs. You can see that's like clear spine and tail, so I think it's gonna be a good one. Let's find out. Alrighty, and here it is. Came out very lovely. There's a good Diplomistus. Of course I would start with a freaking Diplomistus. I've gone on record many times that they're my least favorite to prep because they are just so very fragile. But that's actually a really nice one. Usually they don't maintain that skin like the Nidia do, so that's actually really good preservation on this. And that's not small. They get much bigger, but like, you know, that's good size Nidia. I can be very happy with that. That's a good way to start. All right, next we're gonna do this one. And I'm predicting right now it's gonna go extremely quickly. And I'm predicting that because that layer is already lifting off. So yeah, this is gonna be a fast one. See what I mean? Very, very quick. Fortunately, because that's where that piece was kind of like uplifted, it really held on to the tail side. So that is unfortunate, but it's still a good one. I can be happy with that. And it took literally like a minute. So, all right, we're going to do this one next. This one I am going to be walking on eggshells with because of that crack. So, yeah, we're going to have to be really careful with this one. I'm assuming it's a Nidia, but it also looks weird. This might be a juvenile myoplosis. I don't know. We will see. We'll find out. I would assume more than likely Nidia, but it looks different. So, I guess we'll find out. These big, really solid ribs and how sturdy the bones are is what's making me think myoplosis, because they have like really sturdy bones compared to the other ones. Alright, well it's done, and that is one very weirdly deteriorated fish. Like even before starting, this thing was like, the spine is all like compressed down this way, like half of the ribs are just gone back here. The spine was just like exploding the moment anything came near it. So it's a weird, weird fish. I wish its mouth was open because it would give me a much better idea, but given the size of the bones, I'm kind of assuming that it's a juvenile Diplomistus, or not Diplomistus, myoplosis. It could just be a really weird Nidia, but the head shape is a little different. I don't know. If its mouth was open, it would be so much easier to tell. It's honestly a 50-50 for me. It's either a weird, degraded myoplosis, or it's Nidia that has seen better days.
Either way, it's cool. Very different, but I like it. I think we're gonna do this one next. It looks like the whole thing is here, but it's so hard to tell. So I guess let's just investigate. Oh man, that's a bummer. When Alexis was cutting them, she clipped it. I think she assumed it was straight, but it was curved upward, so it sucks. It was literally like a ½ inch over. It would have been fine, but it's alright. It's whatever. I believe that's an idea as well, though. Alright, we're gonna do this one next. And this should be interesting, as you can see, because literally nothing of the fish is exposed. So we're starting from the ground up on this one. And here it is. I love watching those transform, especially when they're like the ones that are completely covered, like this one's gonna be. There's no knowing what you're gonna wind up with, but that is a beautiful Nidia. We actually got both pectoral fins. This one is the opposite side folded in. Oh, that's so cool. Also, sorry if I sound weird today. My freaking allergies punched me in the face like a truck. It sucks. I'm super over it. Very happy about this. Alright, curiosity is getting the best of me on this one. I don't know what this is. It's probably just going to be an idea, if we're being honest, but I need to figure out what that is. The tail looks a little different. It might just be pinched, but yeah, I guess we'll find out. Also, unfortunately, I'm probably going to lose this coprolite. But at least there's another one over here, so let's do it. Alright, that one is done, and it is indeed a Nidia. A very nice Nidia, though, and I did actually manage to save some of that coprolite, so I'm happy. But we still do have the one down here. That is actually a really cool specimen. When I saw this little tail, I was not expecting it to be as complete as it is. I actually need to go back in here and get the top of the tail a little better, but that's awesome. That is way nicer than I was expecting, actually. That is a very good Nidia. Okay, so we're going to do this one next, but I have a problem with this one. It's going to be like that other one that was completely covered. Here's the problem. I don't know which side is which. I kept the negative for that very reason, because I didn't actually know which side it's on, but it's underneath this layer or underneath this layer, so I guess we will probe and find out. Alrighty, and here it is. That is a really cool little specimen, actually. Little tiny Nidia right behind the big one. That is really cool. That's why I love prepping those ones so much, because like you never know what the heck you're gonna wind up with when you have ones like that. That, it usually leads to much better preservation, because yeah, stuff doesn't get broken off in a bad split like some of the other pieces. So very happy about that. Alrighty, we're gonna do one more, and that is this right here, which is that crocodilian coprolite. And I'm not really gonna do a whole lot of prepping on it, just because I don't want it to fall apart. Sorry about the vibratory lab in the background. It's driving me nuts today. Turn that off in just a second. But yeah, I'm gonna go in and excavate it just a little bit, just so it's a little more defined. Alrighty guys, here it is, and I can say with certainty that that is one of the weirdest things I've ever prepped. The thing is like massive. Here's my hand next to it. That is a huge coprolite. Also had no idea that these two fish were right here, so that's pretty cool. Probably gonna cut it down like here, just to make it a slightly smaller piece, because as it stands, it's like way bigger than it needs to be, but hey,
I am very happy about that. They told me while we were there that they are actually very uncommon. Like, they only get a handful every year. So I'm very happy to have this. It's definitely not something you see very often. So I am thrilled that this is, yeah. I'm a little bummed that it was so cracked just because we got a bad split, but oh well. I like it. I can be very happy with it, etc. Alrighty guys, that is going to do it for this one. I never meant to put this on the back burner for as long as I did, but it just kind of got put to the side. Again, for way longer than I was expecting. That was a weird day at the quarry. They had gotten an insane amount of rain the day before we got there. Sorry about that hissing sound. That's the compressor decompressing. They'd gotten a ton of rain the day before we got there, so all of the rock was very, very wet. And I learned that day just how hard it is to work at the quarry when everything is wet. You get really unclean, like crumbly breaks. So unfortunately, a lot of the fish didn't come out super well, but one second. What happens when it's wet like that is it's not only very crumbly, the fish like to stick to the other side, so you don't get as clean of splits when it's that wet. We were also getting over like a horrendous cold, so we were not in the best physical shape to be doing what we were doing. Clearly, because I forgot to even record an outro. That being said, it was so much fun. It's always so much fun, and I will never get tired of finding these things. Oh my gosh, broke it. And I will never get tired of finding these things. They just make me so very happy. I love prepping them so very much, and the day will come, I promise. I will keep going back until that stingray happens. Literally my life's goal at this point. Let me know which find was your favorite. It's probably the coprolite for me. That's a very uncommon find, so I'm very happy about that thing. I have multiple trips this year planned. One for sure, hopefully two, back to the quarry. So look forward to more of that, where we may finally be able to knock the stingray off of our list. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to do it for this one. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time.